Your Honor, Officer Pym went to the bathroom to see if Mr. Jones was there. We have Mr. Hawkins on the bench now.
All right, then I guess I'm ready on Hawk.
All right, Mr. Hawkins, come on.
Hold on. Stand right here.
Right here.
This is case number 2456850, the People versus Ramir Javion Hawkins. Defendant is charged with stolen property, receiving and concealing less than two.
This is Brecken's fault with an assist from Law Nerds Unite and Zach.
$200. Today is the date set for sentencing. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alex Hill on behalf of the people.
And for the record, Your Honor, Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Ramir Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins, sir, please say your first, middle, and last names.
Ramir Javion Hawkins.
Today is the date set for sentencing. It was adjourned by the court. Oh, maybe I need to come downstairs. It was adjourned by the court from July 14th to today. And when I adjourned it, I asked defense counsel whether or not I needed to subpoena Mr. Curtis and wait, I don't know if it's, Miss Curtis, whether I needed to subpoena Miss Curtis and whether I needed to subpoena
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
I forget, I don't see the other name. And then she said no. And I said, okay. And then now we're here in person. So today's the day set for sentencing. And with respect to the pre-sentence report, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Stevenson?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that Mr. Hawkins did have the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report with Ms. Hall on July 14th, and that the only correction we would offer, Your Honor, is an updated telephone number. And should I put that on the record or should we just give it to Mr. Clerk?
Give it to Mr. Flanagan.
Okay. Other than that, Your Honor, we would have no additions, deletions, or corrections. And Mr. Hawkins stands ready for sentencing.
I'm coming downstairs.
Okay.
All right. All right. I did in jail. All right. Y'all just, what y'all talking about?
Good morning, Your Honor.
How much y'all? All right, back on the record. With the People versus Ramir Hawkins. He said we wasn't looking for him? What?
No, I asked him what's in turn. He said that.
Well, we gonna find out. Cause you're making a lot of facial expressions. If someone asked me, am I drinking? I would have said no. And then I would say, well, what made you ask me that? But what I wouldn't have done was what you did. So now you're going across to the lab. Go ahead and send them to the lab. We're gonna see if all the facial expressions are correct. He does protest too much. Have you ever heard that statement? Okay, now let's get to Mr. Hawkins. All right. So with respect to the sentencing, Mr. Hill,
Your Honor, I think that the resultant charge in this case doesn't quite capture the severity of the conduct involved. It seems apparent from review of the facts that this is a fairly sophisticated fraudulent financial operation. I would note that the police report documentation, which was 58 pages long, included 31 pages that were just screenshots of checks. Each page had about 6 checks on it. So we're talking about 180 checks. And I believe there was some mail theft and then using that information to then write bad checks. So it's not like he made a check that bounced. It's a lot more serious than this. I would note that I believe this incident occurred in 2022. It appears he did 5 days in jail for the same conduct in Oakland County. We want to make sure that the citizens of Detroit have their resources and property protected. I would want to ensure that he understands that going about this in the future is not going to allow him to remain free.
did the people hold any position with respect to hire for Mr. Hawkins?
So based on his age, I believe the people indicated if he successfully completed all terms and conditions, we may then change our position. But based on the history and the report, it's a big ask. But I think if we could reserve that and see how he does, if he does a good job, sure. If he's not taking the probation serious, then why would we? Because he's already gotten it in the past. He was 20 on the day of the incident, Your Honor, so I don't need to say that, I guess.
Oh.
So to the elephant in the room, Your Honor, I would ask the court to give me permission just to go out of order so Mr. Hawkins can talk to the court
About why he tried to bribe the people at the drug
I
testing
would like to
place?
get that just out of the way.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way, because
Okay.
this is gonna cost them.
Okay,
Let's get it out of the way.
go ahead, Mr.
Uh-oh.
Hawkins. What happened over there?
Made a real poor decision when I walked in there and I asked them, do they do the honest side? And then he informed me that he was the officer, and that was the end of the conversation.
Do they do what? I'm sorry.
Take cash for, to pass people.
Why'd you do that?
I was, really nervous for real because I just came in the day before.
Hold on, Mr. Hawkins. I want you to go make sure he's there. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Hawkins.
I was nervous the day before because I missed the time she had told me to go before 7. I missed that. I tried to miss it. And then when I woke up, I went to the thing. And that's when I asked.
Well, only people trying to bribe the drug test are the people who gonna test positive for drugs.
Yeah,
So what drugs were you gonna test positive?
I wasn't even taking no drugs. I didn't even need to do that. And when I took it, I tested positive for weed and alcohol. And I have did drugs in the past, but I wasn't on any drugs to even have to do that.
All right, let's go to conjugation camp first. Before we even get to everything else. Bribing the drug people and your underlying charge.
Mr. Hawkins, let me get it. Let me understand what you're saying. You're saying, because it's a little bit more than what you just said, so I'm gonna add to what happened. I'm gonna add to what happened. You came down here to 36th District Court. and you refuse to test here at the court. I'm reading on page 6. At the time of the pre-sentence interview, the defendant stated that he was unable to submit to urinalysis testing at the court. As a result, he was referred to alcohol testing and instructed to complete the test on July 1st. Now, number one, that's a problem that I'm gonna address with probation. Because it's no way on this side of heaven, hell, purgatory, or nothing that exists, whatever you believe, that they should have let you walk out of this building talking about you couldn't test and give you a date to come back. That's number one. So he told you to come on the 1st, and then you didn't. As a result, you were instructed to go to ATS on site. And then you went to a different place than the place they sent you. So let me tell you what happened. When they told you to test that day, you made up in your mind for some reason that you were going to engage in this criminal behavior. That's why you didn't test at the court. And then they told you to go someplace else. It's because somewhere in your circle of people, somewhere in your circle of friends, somewhere in your whatever, somebody told you they taking bribes over there at this other place. And that's why instead of going where probation told you to go, you went to a whole different place. So it's not as simple as I went and then I don't know what got into me. I just out the blue decided I was gonna bribe somebody to take a drug test for me, and I wasn't even taking no drugs. That says I have a, no, go back outside, go out and take that test. Go out. Yeah. And that in and of itself is simply criminal mentality. So you did more than just show up at a place. You plotted, you schemed, you premeditated. You said, I'm not gonna take this test right here, because they probably ain't taking bribes at 36 District Court. And then I'm not gonna go to the ATS where they sent me, because I ain't hear about them taking no bribes. Listen to what the young man said. He said, Mr. Hawkins asked the on-site tech, Ms. Kirksey, whether he could pay her to pass the test. So you asked more than one person. And then Ms. Kirksey refused and immediately called the manager. And then Mr. Hawkins then approached me outside of the office and asked if I was going to be testing him. Then comfortably, you didn't look nervous. You wasn't scared. Then you comfortably asked him if you could pay him to pass the test. A person is only offering to pay a person to pass a test if they think they're gonna flunk. Because otherwise, that wouldn't make sense to pay somebody for something that I could pass myself. And the interesting thing is, when you did that, when you engaged in that illegal behavior, you didn't test positive for any prohibited substance. At the time, I didn't order you not to drink, and at the time, I didn't order you not to consume marijuana. You have sat up here, got yourself in a boatload of trouble for no reason. But here's the other thing. You've had HIDA twice. And Mr. Hawkins, what I've learned in my 33 years of practicing law, in my 58 years on earth, some people wake up in the morning, and as sure as I wake up in the morning with my mind set to do a certain thing, as sure as I wake up in the morning knowing that I'm gonna pray, as sure as I wake up in the morning knowing that I'm gonna do some devotion, as sure as I wake up in the morning with my mind set to do the right thing. Now, it don't always turn out like that. Sometimes I wake up in the morning with my mind set to do the right thing and my temper gets the best of me. My patience, I don't have as much as I thought I wanted to have when I started out that morning. So as sure as I get up to it with my mind set on doing the right thing, I have learned that there are some people who wake up in the morning with their mind determined to do the wrong thing. And Mr. Hawkins, it sounds to me like you have woken up in the mornings with your mindset to do the wrong thing. Maybe there's an adrenaline
He chose violence.
rush for you. Maybe the only reason you did that was to say that you got away with something. But it's just not gonna turn out good for you today. I don't even understand why you would do that. Other than them telling me that your frontal lobe is not developed fully. Now, I don't even subscribe to that because when I was 21, when I was 22, I had the same undeveloped frontal lobe, but my undeveloped frontal lobe took me to law school. My undeveloped frontal lobe, when I was homeless, according to the government's definition of homeless, my undeveloped frontal lobe said, you better take a class every time, because otherwise you're on the street, sis. You better work in the cafeteria with the nasty kids, don't know how to do their plate, you scraping their food into the thing, this all they got. This the work study. You gonna work and study.
I really like with the nasty kids. That was a nice touch.
Because there are a group of people who wake up with their mind determined to do the right thing. And there are a group of people who wake up with their mind determined to do the wrong thing, like that man who I told not to come in my courtroom, he's standing at the door. I don't know who he is and why he is at the door. He had on them glitter shorts, and he had on a hat. Okay. So, I'm gonna double back to that, but Mr. Hawkins, your life, let me tell you something. I don't know if you've seen some construction is going on across the street. They tore down the jail that they had started building and wasted all the taxpayers' money, and then they tore down, it was halfway. And now then they tore down the juvenile building, and then I guess eventually they're gonna tear down what used to be Frank Murphy, and they moved the jailers to a jail. They put carpet down there for them. They put a little accent wall. When the jailers come in the room, they got a little accent wall. Do you know I could kick you could paint the wall my favorite color. I don't want to be in custody. But trust this, Mr. Hawkins. There's a group of people that wake up in the morning determined to make sure they keep their foot on your neck. There's a group of people, when they wake up in the morning, they want to build 20 prisons. And they don't even want to put an accent wall in there. And they don't want to give you 3 square meals. And they don't want to give you any food that's going to make you enjoy eating. And you, Mr. Hawkins, are proving them right. You're proving that what their unfounded fears are true. The group of people that will see you coming and walk on the other side of the street, you're giving them so much ammunition to do so. And I hate that for you. I hate that for you. I hate that for you. I don't know who you hanging around, but you're gonna stop. You gonna stop. I don't know who gave you that bonehead idea. I don't know who told you that that was a good thing to do, or if you thought it up on your own. All right, so we went out of order, Ms. Stevenson, go ahead.
So I guess I just, I agree with everything the court has said, except for about the frontal lobe thing, because I believe in that wholeheartedly.
Well, then why do some people's undeveloped frontal lobe cause them to do such bonehead things, and some people's undeveloped frontal lobes let them be in the paper saying they the youngest graduate from Harvard University. Like, I believe that even if the frontal lobe is undeveloped, you still can make some rational choices with the undeveloped frontal lobe. So it's not because of the undeveloped frontal lobe, I believe. It's because you just still decide to make the wrong decision. Just like grown people with developed frontal lobe. Developing the frontal lobe don't keep people out of court, but go ahead, because I usually don't interrupt you. Go ahead.
And I just wonder what you would have done had your frontal lobe been completely developed. I wonder what I would have done if my frontal lobe had been completely developed, just having had the opportunity to be 20 years old and then to live with people today who are 20 years old. It's a different thing going on. I believe that with everything in me. It's the same way my mother said things were different when she was younger. People just grow less intelligent, I believe, over time. That's my personal belief. But HIDA does recognize that there's something to the science. And HIDA, the law has said that, we do have to give people an opportunity to grow up. That doesn't mean that we give people an opportunity to prey on other people. That doesn't mean that we give people an opportunity to just devise ways to inconvenience other people's lives. I do believe that if Mr. Hawkins wants to learn how to be a real live criminal, that the Wayne County Jail is a place for him to do that. And that's why I would ask the court not to send him over there.
Might as well perfect the skills.
I don't think so, because I don't think he's that good at it, because he's getting caught at misdemeanors. As in-depth and as intricate as his planning has been, is still landed him here in district court. So he's not that good at it. And one thing Mr. Hawkins did that surprised me is I think if he were a real live criminal or a real life wannabe criminal, we wouldn't have seen him this morning. He wouldn't have been here waiting when I opened my door to look and see who was in the hallway at 8:30 this morning. This court told him to get down here in person. He knew after speaking with Ms. Hall what he was facing. He put on a white shirt with a collar, got himself together, and got down here. I think he gets some credit for that. I am asking the court to look at the fact that
Congratulations, defendant, for the bare minimum. And an impressive display by your attorney to trying to turn that into a virtue.
Mr. Hawkins is making some really, really, really strangely devious decisions. And I believe that, I don't know what the circuit court HIDA probation looked like. I don't know what was involved in that. But I do believe that there is a course of probation here that could help Mr. Hawkins have something else to think about, in a different way to think about how he can use his talents and abilities, which he certainly has. You have to be smart enough to plan, you have to be smart enough to wait, you have to be smart enough to think things through to come up with some of the stuff that he's come up with, as dumb a place as it has landed him. So he's attempted, I believe, to express contrition to this court. I think he did something, again, that he wishes he hadn't done. I'm asking the court to give him the opportunity to grow up and learn how to do things the way he's supposed to be doing them. Mr. Hawkins is employed. I believe he's interested in maintaining his employment so that he can continue to take care of his daughter. I know somebody stole $5,000 in my bank account, and I wanted him to be executed. So I don't think that that's crime to them. So I just don't even know what Ms. Pressure was going through when she discovered that the checks were missing. And I talked about this case with our, I don't know, people, Mr. Hawkins, they don't even use checks. So I don't even know why he thought that this scheme was going to work. It just doesn't make sense. And I think that's indicative of the fact that he's a great candidate for HIDA. This is what HIDA is all about. Trying to give people an opportunity to grow up and do things in a way which makes sense. And I'm asking the court to do that for Mr. Hawkins. I don't have an objection to a 24-month probation. I don't have any objection to extensive monitoring by the probation department. But I am asking the court to give Mr. Hawkins.
But you do have an objection to him going through that great door? That's what you're telling me?
I have an absolute objection to Mr. Hawkins going to school at the Wayne County Jail, where he can learn to perfect his craft. I have an objection to that. I don't have an objection to holding jail.
She logged in on my, I'm sorry.
Any objection? All objections.
To the court holding jail time in abeyance, to give Mr. Hawkins something to think about. So I think that's pretty much it, Judge.
If you didn't know, y'all stink. Okay, that's just my opinion.
Does Mr. Hawkins wish to address it?
Mr. Hawkins, what do you want to say to the judge?
But it's like, just again, I made a really poor decision. Didn't have to do that at all, because it was my first time. I don't know why I did that.
I want to dumber down the ticket. I want to fight that.
No one recommended me or told me. I did that all off myself. That's right, God. No, I'm not lying. Someone told me to do that. Take full accountability for my actions.
Where is it? I want to come up here and see this. I want somebody to come up
Yes, thank you, Mushmouth. That was beautiful.
and see this. What's wrong? Look at my phone. I didn't see. I didn't see my phone. Okay. All right. Miss Knight and Miss Thomas. So, okay. Mr. Hawkins, I came to work today to see you. I took all my stuff home. I had big stack of stuff inside number 18, the 18th date folder. And I took it home because I said, oh, I don't have any in person. And I was going to work from home. And then I said, oh, wait a minute. Mr. Hawkins coming in. And then I made a last minute decision to come on down to work. And I came down here with intention that I was going to put you in jail. That's why I asked Ms. Hall, did she need me to subpoena the people? Because I was going to take testimony if you didn't admit that, if you weren't willing to admit what you did, because I was thinking that if they made up something like this, that would be, I was gonna lock them up because somebody was lying. So a couple of things. You took responsibility for what you did, which in and of itself should garner, should create, should bring forth a new charge. Listen to what I'm saying. What you did should be causing you to be charged with a new charge, Mr. Hawkins, which I believe would be a felony. I don't know the range of choices. Now, you're still at an age that even if that were to happen, you could potentially get HIDA, right? But the problem is, one, we see that HIDA isn't working for you. HIDA is to give a second chance. And you're on at least your third chance. So the chances of you getting hired again, where the prosecutor has to consent, you would have to have a prosecutor on the prosecutor's side that really says, I see greatness in you. And I just don't want these bonehead decisions to keep affecting you. Because Mr. Hawkins, you are making some bonehead decisions. The bonehead decision that was gonna get you locked up today. I don't know where your parents are. I see them listed on this pre-sentence investigation. I don't know where they are. But here's the thing about it. Whether they're in your life or not. Now, I'm sure that there's some people who have encountered me in life that say she got daddy issues. I'm sure. But let me tell you what, it ain't stopped me from doing nothing. Whatever daddy issue I have, it hasn't stopped me. Now, it might have caused me to choose a couple of wrong mates or something, but it ain't stopped me. I don't know where they are, but what I know is you're making decisions that are going to get you in some big trouble. The good news for you today is you do have a judge today that cares about you more than you care about yourself. I mean, I'm looking at you and thinking, Lord, what would happen if that was my son? Who could knock him in the head? I mean, I probably would have kicked my son in the back if I heard that he did what you did. Because Mr. Hawkins, come on. It didn't make any sense. Taking responsibility has helped you. I'm going to tell you that. Taking responsibility has helped you. And I hope not taking responsibility don't work against the person on that front row. But it's helped you today. And I am going to try to help you make a change, a difference in your life. I want you to change. I don't want another person to have to offer you higher. I don't want you to do another thing till that frontal lobe gets together. And they say it's until you're 25. We're going to try to help you develop it. Because I don't want you to go to prison. But there are a group of people that wake up in the morning and they would love to see you go. It's a whole group of people that would love to see you go to prison. I'm not one of them, and I hope you're not one of them.
This is minor, but I don't like this conspiracy talk. It's nonsense. There aren't a bunch of people pulling against him specifically. There are people who are in favor of criminals getting appropriate punishment. But there's not some grand conspiracy against this kid that nobody knows. There isn't.
No matter what the situation is, you can work it out and do something different. Nobody said life was going to be easy. We don't think about that when we out there having babies and stuff. Once they get grown, they got to figure some stuff out. And some of us were made to figure some stuff out before we got grown. You got to stop it. I'm not going to put you in jail today, but I promise you, and I'm going to request that they don't charge no charges against you. But that's not my decision. That would be the people's decision. But you literally committed another crime. Okay. All right, Ms. Knight. I am going to increase the probation. They recommended 12 months, but I don't even know why they did that. But I'm going to increase the probation to 18 months. So I need an 18-month date. I am going to, notwithstanding, since I don't need the people's consent, I'm going to say that it's under HIDA, but don't mess it, don't blow it. Don't blow it. Give me 1 second. This is on. And well, somebody told me, she was in this one. And well, whatever she did, she broke my phone. I did that. All right. So, Mr. Hawkins, I'm gonna give you 18-month probationary period. I'm not logged in so I can't see your chat. If you put it in there, I need an 18-month date. I was trying to log in and then that threw me off.
January 18th, 2027.
So,
You know, I don't know. Brecken sent this to me. I haven't seen her in a while, but you know, it's not like I check every day either.
the final review date is January 18th, 2027. But I'm gonna put an interim not midway, interim review. I want you to come back and see me in November 17th. And since I said that I would honor the high, now after today, your cases will be non-public, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So we'll put that at 10:50. With the condition, are you working?
Yes.
It is a sort of deferral for younger defendants, so that if they do everything they're supposed to do, then the conviction falls off and they don't have it on their record.
But you got a baby.
It's an acronym. I can't remember what it stands for specifically, but it's an acronym for some legislation in the state of Michigan.
How old is the baby?
Or
Court is going to impose the mandatory cost of $210. And then I'm going to what's your work schedule? I want you to get a job where they're not gonna put this in writing on my precinct investigation on page 5.
Monday through Thursday. 9 to 5.
What's the name of the company?
Hard Motor City Talk.
Okay, so do you want, I wanna give you some community service, but I'm gonna tell you how much it'll be, then you tell me if you want community service or if you think you just wanna go ahead and pay it. So $210 mandatory cost, $100 attorney's fee. What's the restitution? Is there restitution?
No, Your Honor, the bank stopped cashing of the checks.
Thank you, okay. $350 fine, supervision fees for 18 months. Be $630. That would be prorated if you get discharged early. And $100 precinct investigation and substance abuse evaluation fee. Court is going to order random urinalysis once a month, and it must be at 36th District Court. You are not approved to go anywhere else. Court is going to add $270 with the notation that it must be at the court. You cannot go somewhere else. And I didn't penalize you and increase the testing.
Thank you.
I just kept it once a month. Who's that?
I'm his brother's girlfriend. You want me to come in and listen?
You live with your brother?
No,
Oh,
I live with my grandma.
the one that's been raising you. And the one probably heartbroken. Is her heartbroken? Did you tell her what you did? Nah, what you did at the lab I'm talking about.
No,
Now, here I am, just can't wait for some grandkids, but if they come and act like you, I'm gonna end up with a case. So I didn't increase it, but you have to come down here. How did you get down here today?
I drove.
You have a valid license?
Yes.
All right. So the total fines, costs, and fees. Why the brother ain't coming here? Why he sending his girlfriend?
But he got shorts on, he can't come in no shorts.
Oh, that was your brother I was clowning with the shorts and the hat on? Yes, he was. Your brother got on shorts and, yes, it is. That's your brother.
I didn't see him.
You ain't seen him use her because you was focused on me, right? That's good. Okay.
Is that your brother that was clowning? Could have been Eric Martin. You never know.
So it's $1,660. That's for the whole 18 months. But if you get discharged early, then it'll be $1,210. If you get discharged at the halfway point, amount is $1,210. Now, you tell me, do you want to try to pay that or you want me to give you some community service?
1,600.
Yes, you got it. Yeah, because you was trying to bribe the people.
Okay.
You want me to leave it in the past? You want me to let it go? We're gonna work it out, Mr. Hawkins. All right, so then that's the fines, costs, and fees. Additionally, sir, you shall not violate any criminal law of any governmental unit. That means no new cases. You cannot leave the state without consent of the court. You must make a truthful report to probation on a monthly basis and notify them immediately of any change of your address, phone number, or employment status. Mr. Hawkins, you're gonna, I already told you the fines, costs, and fees. This is, and then these are the other conditions of your probation. You shall not use or possess any illegal substance. You cannot use or possess any marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. You cannot use or possess any opiates without a valid prescription and letter of explanation from the doctor. You cannot drive without a valid driver's license. You are going to attend the Choices Program and the Aggressive Self-Realization Maintenance Program. You're going to attend the Theft Awareness class, pay any outstanding tickets that you have with the 36th District Court. You're going to provide proof of your education, which it says you have a high school diploma. So you're going to provide proof of your education. Failure to do so will result in the court referring you for an adult education GED program. You are going to have no contact with the complaining witness. I don't know if you know who they are, or if I don't know what those checks were, if they, had any contact information on them, but you will definitely have no contact with the complaining witness. Held up pressure. And yes, Mr. Hill.
There was a second complainant not listed, the Honorable Marla Parker. We would just ask that she be included in no contact. I should have said so earlier in the judicial's corrections.
Okay.
There were two big.
And you said honorable, you gave her title, that's,
It is a judge in 47th District Court. She previously appeared.
oh, okay, I do think I remember that. Okay, yes, okay. Well, but I can't say no contact. Give me a little bit more information. So he took some of her checks or something, or?
Mail and then wrote checks, forged her signature. So we just
Okay.
asked no contact with her
No,
residence.
okay, no
privately.
private resident, okay, yes. All right, for sure. And then, so no contact with her residence, and no contact with her unless it's through the court system, unless he has to come through the court system, and then she would most likely recuse herself. But that's the court's order. And Ms. Eason, did you say you were gonna correct something on here, the address or phone number?
Here's the phone number and I'll give that to Mr. Clement.
Okay, so we're gonna mail a copy of the order to your Beaverland address, and then Ms. Eason is gonna correct and update your phone number. And then we'll put that in the system. Now, Mr. Hawkins, I said a lot today. And so are you ready to stop letting the people who want to see you fail? Are you ready to stop giving them what they need to see you fail?
Yes, Your Honor.
You sure?
Yes.
So we gotta get rid of all bad influences in order to do that. Now, you telling me you came up with this on your own. And I'm just tell you this, I have a person in my family, I ain't gonna give his title up here, maybe people can figure it out, who used to just, be one of those people that I think got up in the morning and just decided he's gonna do wrong stuff, used to do dumb stuff, kept getting himself in trouble. And stuff that was gonna cause, that could have put his life in danger, selling fake drugs. I'm like, the people that you sold that to, they might come back and look for him. Always somewhere in trouble. Just kept on being in trouble. Until one day he got tired. Tired of trying to go in and out of jail. Cause that's where you was going today. Tired of, looking over your shoulder. And now he's just doing phenomenal. So on a day when you decide to turn your life around, it can be done. And then maybe you can have a tow truck business and you could be the business owner. You see how that works? So I'm rooting for you. I need you to root for yourself though, because the thing of it is, I'm giving you grace today. Mercy's still in the room. You have a little wiggle room, but you don't have much. So I'm trying to help you. I gave you choices and aggressive self-realization. A part of it is because I want you to meet Mr. Rice. I've never met him except on Zoom one time, but he does a phenomenal job with the people that I send to him. So a part of it is just that I want you to meet Mr. Rice. I want you to be introduced to a better way of doing things, a right way to do things that can get you the money that you're looking for, but the right way. Because, people go to jail and prison after they get the money the wrong way. Now they can't enjoy the money because now they in prison. So we don't want that for you. Seems like your brother supporting you, but I don't know the backstory to any of it. And so, if he's a sound mind, then talk to your brother. I mean, he wasn't supposed to wear shorts to court though, but that don't mean he ain't a sound mind, okay? All right, so your next encounter with me will be November 17th at 10:50. Anything further?
Nothing but the people, Your Honor, thank you.
And the fact that Ms. Stevenson was right, let me acknowledge, you do look nice for court. And you did come knowing that I might be getting ready to put you in jail. And so I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming and accepting responsibility that what you did was wrong. So all of those things have allowed me to feel very comfortable extending the grace to you today. And I hope that I can continue to do so. And I hope that you will get off probation early and that we will give you this HIDA. But I do want you to keep in the forefront of your undeveloped frontal lobe that it's probably a slim to no chance that a prosecutor is gonna agree to give you HIDA again. And so if you get in some more trouble, now you're gonna start getting your criminal record is gonna start, stacking up. So just keep that in mind. Anything further?
Nothing but the people, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Hawkins had one question.
Oh, yes, sir.
I had some property seized from me me and my sister in a traffic stop back in April, coat in a backpack, wondering. When we go to the headquarters, they say they see it, but they were waiting to see what happened.
From November
traffic stop?
2022?
No, April.
That's related to this case?
Yes, Your
No,
Honor.
so he was stopped, let me make sure my brain is processed. He was stopped by the police and he had this warrant out or something
No, I think he was stopped by the police.
because of the allegations on this case?
I don't know how he came to be stopped, but at the time that he was arrested, the automobile that he was a passenger in, if I understand it correctly, was searched.
But listen to, I mean, my question is, the arrest, I guess I'm focused on the arrest.
Mhm.
The arrest that resulted in the seizure of those things. You're saying that was an arrest on this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hill, do you agree with that?
I have no reason to dispute it. I do see that this case is from 2022 and that there was various items seized. I don't have personal knowledge as to the property that he's referring to that was seized now. In the past, when there is evidence held on a case, at the conclusion of the case, when it's no longer necessary to maintain it, the people would have no objection to stipulating to that request. We could get a judicial order and they could present it to the precinct for return of this property if it exists. I just don't know what.
So what I'm saying is this, let's be clear. While I believe I am the most important judge in the whole country, world, in all of creation, I don't have authority. I don't have authority to return anything that doesn't have to do with this case. So what I will sign an order saying that property seized as a result of the arrest on this case can be returned. So if it was some other case or some other investigation, I don't pretend to have authority, all over the world and for everything. So make sure the order is correct, because if they say, well, this ain't the right case, I can't do nothing about that. Like, I can't return property on another case, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I will sign an order to return the property if that arrest was as a result of these charges. No, include it in the order. We can include it in the order. But I'm just saying, we can include any property seized as a result of the charges or the arrest in this case, I'll return it. Okay?
Sounds good.
So have a seat and wait for the order.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so you can tell your brother what happened, if you want to, because he was.
Okay.
All right? Ms. Stevenson,
Yes,
you want
sir.
this? Oh, you don't,
Well,
to confirm what we all know? I'm ready.
There you have it. It was fun to see Lanice again. Always a good time. She got on a real roll, as she often does. She was softer in this guy than I would have been. I can live without the soft racism of low expectations, but that's endemic. That's literally everywhere, in all courts at all times at this stage. It's not good for anybody, but it is so. I don't really want to pick on her for it when everybody else is doing the same damn thing, literally across the board. That's just kind of the way it is. It's unfortunate, but true. It was still hilarious. When she said, "I think I'm the most important judge," I actually found that charming. She didn't mean that literally. She meant that as much. Yeah, I can't do anything I want to do. I kind of have to have, it sort of has to be within my jurisdiction to do it. She is a hoot. She left her house. She went all the way to the courthouse for this event. and she wanted everyone to know it, which was funny. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate it. And thank you, Brecken. That was good stuff.